So I haven't been doing too many videos or sermons or anything because I'm working 7 days a week, but I'm almost to the point to where I don't have to do that. So I'm really excited to get back to it and have some fellowship. I really have been struggling and hating my life lately because of this workload. But it's the season and I have to do it. And it's almost over. But I was, something I've learned just adding to the women in a relationship, married women, as far as obeying your husband. And, I've noticed that my sister has always been a real tyrant in my life, and she's got the sweetest husband the sweetest husband that a woman could ask for. I really love the kid. He's so quiet. You never hardly know what's on his mind, but probably one of the meekest men I've ever met, to a fault, honestly. I think that there are some things that should have been addressed, But my sister was very strong-willed. I don't know. I don't know how he put up with it for so long. But in any case, she divorced him a little while ago, right? She found somebody else that she wanted to be with, so she played the adulteress and took off and kicked him out of the house. And Christian man, did everything she ever wanted. But I just, there are so many times I've noticed in examining their life that she always wanted to wear the pants. And I told her on a couple occasions that you need to stop that, because what you're doing is you're taking this massive burden trying to run the household that isn't yours to run, trying to make decisions because she's worried her husband's not going to make the right decision. And she's taking that massive burden of responsibility upon herself. And she's in a constant state of anxiety, poor health, way underweight, always anxious, always, worried. And I told her, you need to just obey your husband and do it, let your husband, well, I don't think that he's going to make the right decision. Well, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what any married woman thinks. If she has a God-fearing husband, the Lord made him the head of the house. And if the wife takes it upon herself to do things the way she wants to do them because she doesn't believe the husband's doing the right thing, the Lord's not going to bless that. And you're just going to destroy your household. So, none of my information was ever heeded. And, I'm a prime example. My house is just, the Lord blessed it just simply because I made the tough decisions, and I prayed with my wife. She didn't like a lot of the stuff. Like, I completely got rid of holidays and birthdays and everything else. I threw away televisions and, a lot of that stuff she didn't like. I didn't like it either. But I fear the Lord, and I don't want his rod coming down on me. So I made some tough decisions. But how I addressed my wife was I sat her down real meek and told her, listen, this is why I believe the Lord wants to do this. And I'd pray with her and I'd express my thoughts in the prayers, and we got to do this. And I wasn't a tyrant about it. And I prayed to the Lord to soften her heart, and eventually it just all worked out, and the Lord has blessed my house and my children, and really he has just blessed us exceedingly. And my wife sees that and she experiences that blessing, and so she don't question it no more, and I don't have to worry about keeping track of these damn holidays and Valentine's and all that garbage. I don't like that stuff because, it's manipulation is what it is. If I want to buy my wife flowers, I'm not going to be manipulated by some holiday some schmuck came up with. I want to do it out of my own free will. I don't want to be manipulated. We gotta do this and do that because everybody else is doing it. I think that's stupid. I'm not going to celebrate Christmas. It's a Roman Catholic pagan holiday. My family's not going to celebrate it. We do other holidays. But the Lord has blessed our relationship. He made my wife my best friend, and I am her best friend. And we hardly have an argument ever, and I just cherish her. It's like I'm dating this woman. I can't get enough of her. But that's what you have to look forward to when you're faithful in little things, and you're willing to do the insignificant things. That most people would be like, well, it's that's just something you made up in your head. And you got to be gently, like the Lord is gentle with us. He doesn't smack us over the head, us husbands, over every little thing we do wrong. And we got to be gentle, and I'm not gentle all the time, and I ask her to forgive me for it. And another thing I've noticed is you can't stew on stuff. If you offend one another, bring it out and be like, honey, you said this, because that takes some humility too, don't it? To tell your wife that something she did or said kind of hurt your feelings, or offended you or something. That takes some humility. Instead, we just want to and then you stew it, or you pack it away, and then you blow up. That stuff's all got to get brought out, even if it's 10 times a week at first. Got to work it out, and the Lord will bless your relationship. But I tried telling my sister, no. I mean, she was always driving the car and stuff. She didn't even want the guy driving. I mean, it was just, it's unbelievable. But you see how far off the deep end you can go when you're not faithful in these little, these practicing what the scriptures say. And so she just lived in a constant state of anxiety. From what I could see, they had a really crappy relationship, to the point to where she ended up screwing around on somebody else, and now she's dating somebody else, and she's a freaking adulteress. Yeah. And you know what the scriptures say about adulteresses and adulterers? You ain't going to heaven. I'm sorry. So, it's just our whole family's really distraught and disgusted about it. Me and my dad basically just deliver unto Satan. Just, it is what it is. So if you want to exercise, if you're a Christian person and you want to have a real blessing of a life, because you need to understand something. You can't control your spouse's desires. You can't control that. And you can't manipulate their desires. And, husbands, if you're just letting your wife take the driver's seat and letting them do whatever they damn well please because you want to go along to get along, what's going to happen is they're not going to respect you. They're actually going to develop disgust and a hatred for you. And it might be easy for a little while, but eventually they're going to find something else. They're going to find somebody else that they have respect for. And, it's just, men need to be men, and they need to rule their house well and, do what the Lord tells them to do. If not, you're going to suffer the consequences. And you can't control or manipulate people's desires. People's desires are manipulated by the Holy Spirit when they do what's right. So you simply make the hard decisions, you lead your family gently by the way, and the Lord will manipulate your wife's desires or your children's desires. The Holy Spirit will be the manipulator, And that's how righteousness will come about. You just have to work at doing what's right. And you can't be lazy and let it slip. Now, I'm not saying my brother-in-law did that. I don't know the whole situation, but I see this in many relationships. I mean, so I'm not trying to, be a jerk and it's all my way, but I'm trying to express how awesome life can be if you're just faithful in little things. And don't try to manipulate your spouse and take the easy way out, but allow the Holy Spirit to manipulate them by simple obedience to the Lord in little things. The Lord doesn't call us to do great things. He's just be obedient in little things. Faithful in little things, God will be faithful in much, So, there it is. Take it or leave it.